We all love the peaks. The revenue peaks, the viral moments, the big awards. But what happens when the route changes? Because let's be honest, it always does. So think of this as a coaching session. It's for that exact moment, the one that comes right after your biggest win, when the real pressure actually begins.
Okay, let's just dive right into this because it's such a counterintuitive truth, isn't it? We're taught to think that success is the finish line, but it's not. It's really the starting block for the next phase, which is often a whole lot harder. The real test of your leadership isn't popping the champagne, it's navigating the storm that so often comes right after.
Does this chart look a little too familiar? The plan was an IPO, but reality just handed you a restructuring. You were aiming to scale, but now you're just trying to stabilize. You were all geared up for this massive expansion, and then, bam, suddenly you're knee-deep in a cash flow crisis. It feels like you're completely off course. But here's the crucial reframe. What if this isn't failure? You have to shift your thinking. You aimed for one destination, and yeah, you landed somewhere else. But that's not a dead end. It's a strategic redirection. The mission hasn't been canceled. Maybe the path has just been upgraded. So how do we actually get through this? How do we navigate it? Well, let's break it all down with a really clear framework so you can understand this journey from the peak right into the pressure. We're going to call this divine redirection. Just think of it like a strategic detour. The source material uses this great metaphor. You might set out for one port, call it your Bethsaida, but a storm forces you to a totally different one, a Gennesaret. The key thing here is that the path changed, but the mission, to get to a safe harbor, that did not. In fact, sometimes that unexpected destination turns out to be an upgrade. This whole journey really happens in 3 stages. First, there's the transition. That's the move from the high of success right into the pressure. Second comes the testing. This is where your focus, your resolve, everything gets challenged. And finally, if you navigate it right, you get to transformation where you come out the other side stronger and with this incredible new clarity. All right, so let's zoom in on that really intense testing phase. What do you actually do when the pressure is on? Well, effective leadership in a storm, it all comes down to one thing: tempo. It's about making the right moves and making them immediately. There are 3 immediate non-negotiable decisions. Number 1, immediate transition. After a huge win, don't celebrate for too long. Immediately get to work restructuring for whatever's next. 2, immediate assurance. The second your team starts to feel that panic, you have to speak up, early and with total clarity. And 3, immediate rescue. When a mistake happens, you act fast. Stop the bleeding, stabilize the situation. Speed, especially under pressure, is what builds trust. And this quote just brilliantly illustrates the stakes. Urgency is absolutely critical. In leadership, there's a kind of divine rhythm. It's not about being hasty, but it is absolutely about not being slow. Because slow decisions, they can be fatal to a company. Now, what's so fascinating about all of this is how your internal mindset, your core beliefs are revealed in a single tiny word. Everything can pivot on how you use the word but. See, you face 2 kinds of buts. First, there's the good but. This is a faith pivot. It says, okay, the market is down, but we are going to hold to our core mission. It acknowledges reality without ever surrendering to it. Then there's the bad but. This one is a fear pivot. It says, the market is down, but we have to panic and change everything. This one lets the storm dictate your entire strategy. And the consequence of this choice is massive. The good but keeps you steady, anchored to your values. The bad but, well, one small decision at a time, it slowly pushes your entire company way off course. And this all brings us to the ultimate variable in any crisis. It's the one thing, the only thing you have total control over: your focus. So let me just ask you this directly. The problem is almost never the storm itself. Storms happen to every single company out there. The real question, the one you have to answer for yourself, is where is your focus? This all boils down to the single most important lesson, right here at the bottom of the slide. Storms don't sink companies. A loss of focus does. The moment you shift your gaze from the mission to the waves, the bad news, what competitors are doing, the office gossip, that's the moment you start to sink. See, pressure doesn't break you. It just reveals where your focus has been all along. So how do you reset your focus? Use this simple filter. First, eliminate the noise. Turn off the endless news cycles. Stop worrying about competitor chatter. Second, reduce the amount of time your team spends just talking about the problems.
And third, you have to actively increase your focus on what is still working and what you can actually control.
This is such a powerful way to remember it. Your leadership, your faith in your mission, it has to walk on the word, which is your core strategy, your values, not on the weather of market volatility. So the crucial point here is this: anybody can steer the ship in calm seas. True leadership isn't proven when things are easy and quiet. It's forged and it is proven through controlled faith when the storm is absolutely raging. This right here, this is your proving ground. So let this be your final takeaway. The storm, the crisis, the redirection, none of it gets to decide your future. Your focus does. And that means the only question left to answer is, where are you going to put yours?